Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Pulse. We've got a very exciting show for you tonight, people, because we got Crossroads coming up. So let's get straight into the action. We got The Villain.
Definitely got to talk about some Crossroads.
And joining us for the first time on The Pulse, we've got Johnny Blade.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome. Hopefully we'll have some more faces on here after a while, get people talking. This week's burning question. I haven't thought of one until now, so I will make up one now.
Ooh, I like those kind.
All right. If promoing was a cup of coffee, would it be black? Or would it be 2 sugars and some French vanilla and some latte, frappe, mocha chocolates? Villain.
I guess I guess it depends on how you look at it.
Okay, obviously.
So, obviously, half of it, one side of it you can look at as it's nitty and gritty. So you got to say it's dark roast. Other half of it is they say some of us are like prima donnas, so it might be a pumpkin spice latte for what people think. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how you look at promoing in general. So,
All right. Johnny Blade, your thoughts?
Pretty much the same. I mean, I would go with the second one with all the different kinds because there's so many different types of promo artists and whatnot.
I think
That's my answer.
there's a different kind of coffee for every different kind of promo style artist out there. It's definitely a melting pot. You never know what you're going to get, as Forrest Gump would say.
Absolutely.
All right.
life is like a box of chocolates.
So we got Crossroads coming up. It's going to be an interesting show. We'll get to that in just a second, but Johnny Blade, at Hotter Than Hell, you faced off against my tag team partner, Half Past Black. That was
I did.
match. That was a very, very close match. I believe y'all tied, but Half Past Black had 2 first-place votes. So
He did.
I would like to see part 2 of that, if I'm being honest.
Me too. I told him I'd love to run it back. He really brought it, man. He did good. He did really well. That's I feel like I'll take responsibility for bringing out the best in him. If he brings it like that, you guys are gonna win the tag team titles.
I certainly hope so. We've got a long road ahead of us. You know, the Beards, they're a great team. No doubt. No lie. I'm not going to sit here and say otherwise. But, yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Oh, it's big. It's the one match I'm looking forward to, because of all the hypes. I think John had mentioned that before, and he was right. It's really the only match that, is being talked about.
Well, I mean, in this instance, we've been uniquely blessed in the sense that we've had the time to build the match. Usually there's a quick turnaround, but, the way things fell, we had a month and a half to talk about it. So maybe there's a lesson to be learned there. I don't know. But
True enough.
I'm excited for it. I think me and Half Past Black are ready, but that's for business. That's not for storyteller, host of the Pulse. I don't want to dominate the conversation. We've got the other title match will be A-List Alverson's very first title defense against Mad T. I think A-List Alverson is probably heavily favored in that situation, but who knows? Johnny, your thoughts?
Oh man, I've been watching HSP about a year or so before I actually came in, and A-List has always impressed me. I mean, man,
yeah.
Even through all this backstage drama, it's like it doesn't affect him. He just goes forward and he does him, which is the way it should be in my opinion. But A-List is, I think he's going to win. Mad T, though, don't sleep on Mad T. The guy at his last match, he impressed me. I didn't know much about him until I watched his last match, and he was pretty good.
He's only been in HSP a couple of months, I believe. So, yeah, he's making a shot.
Pretty impressive. I'm going with A-List in this match, though. I think he'll retain.
Heard. Dylan.
When you look at it on paper, to me, it would be a landslide to A-List. A-List has been here for a long period of time. A-List is pretty much won everything. He has won every title here in the HSP. He's won titles outside of HSP. He's obviously a favorite of the judges. Just look at the scores that he does, and then just watch his matches, and you understand why he's a favorite, not only to the judges, but also to everybody that watches HSP's product. Mad T's got a long hill to climb, and he's gonna have to put new tricks in the books. He's gonna have to watch every single thing that A-List has ever done and try to build a game plan based off of that. Because if he doesn't, A-List is just gonna run all over him, and it's hard not to vote against A-List when it's like he's unstoppable. Like, Storyteller, you have faced him. I have faced him. I faced him, I think, in one of his first matches in promo, and it's just like, what the guy just makes
he's obviously
out of anything. So.
No doubt. All right. What else we got? We got a fatal 4-way, including Vagabond Heathen, yourself, Johnny, and Mr. Wallace. So this is a fatal 4-way elimination for your thoughts, Dylan.
That is going to be a very highly contested match, because you have Johnny Blade, who's coming off of a really tough loss against your tag team partner over there, and as you even said it earlier, it was a tie score. It was just two of the judges voted in the other in one way, and him coming off of that, Johnny. One thing I have to say is, since you came here to promo, it's been very impressive. Like, you know how all these, like, you have these indie guys that want to come in and say they're the next hot thing, that they've been doing it longer than other people. Just like, what's his face, the toilet paper 12 gauge guy decided to come on screen and try to come after A-List. But you have shown that there are some that can come in and actually do this and actually do it really well and understand how to put everything over. And I'm gonna go to Dark Horse, because ever since that tag team championship lost, Mr. Wallace hasn't been the same. Normally I would sit here and say Mr. Wallace easily, but I'm gonna have to go with Johnny Blade. He sees what the judges like, and
it's top two now. It's top two that's gonna go on to face each other, I guess, at the next event.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I see someone mentioned me in a comment. It just popped up on my screen. It looks like Roughneck mentioned the comment. I can't see it. But at this time, it's just like paying attention to it. Like, Johnny Blade's impressed. Johnny Blade knows what the judges like. Johnny Blade's going to probably get the win because he's doing his homework.
Yeah. I mean, put in the legwork. Day up becomes easy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm trying. I mean, I'm still learning, obviously, and this is going to be tough, man. These three guys, this is definitely my toughest. Well, I mean, Half Past Black was tough too, but this is another tough test. So I don't know, man. I think anybody can win this, but I'm going to give them all.
All righty. Let me ask something, just out of my own curiosity. Johnny, coming from, the indie circuit, professional world of professional wrestling, and now trying to break into promoing, what are the things that are the same and what are the things that are different? I mean, we promoing, it does draw its inspiration from, the world of professional wrestling, but at the same time, it's become its own thing. So What are your impressions, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean it's the promoing. Yeah, it's a little. Believe it or not, in the 20 plus years I've done wrestling, I haven't done too many promos. Honestly, when I wrestled, I had managers that would talk for me, and I didn't even start talking in the ring until way later in my career. I guess I had social anxiety or something. I don't know. But yeah, the promo. I mean, there's a lot of similarities there as far as the promoing goes. Similarities in the fact that there's backstage drama too that goes on in the indie wrestling world. Um, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, all I can say is like the promoing. It's pretty much all similar. But in what ways I can't even think off the top of my head right now on that. To be quite honest.
I apologize for putting you on the spot.
No, that's fine.
Storyteller, I don't want to steal a spotlight and asking questions because that's your job in this. But Johnny, you see how Rocky Shaw and it looks like he's got some multiple people that have come in trying to steal the spotlight from us. How, like, you coming from the indie scene, how do you take that though? Seeing these guys come out and try to degrade what we're capable of doing.
I'm not a fan of how he came in at all. I mean, I like to at least say I came in somewhat respectful, to your guys' craft. Of course, I'm going to talk my mess in my promos, but other than that, I felt like I came in here respectful. Unlike him, he's not doing it the right way. But I don't know. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like the way he did it. I like to have a match with him myself, getting me riled up.
For me, I'm seeing on the page earlier today, we have this guy named Chris Kamikaze, whoever that is. Like, Rocky Shaw has come on and trying to promote his brand off of us.
Well, I mean, to be fair, people are allowed to cross promote things, and to be fair,
But there's a way to do it. You can't come into somebody's house, pretty much kick down the door and say they own the place, but then you're talking shit about everybody that's in that house to begin with, and expect nobody to come out here and say, "Hey, we want your head." Like, I know he wants the best. He's gonna we'll see if he gets the best in A-List Alverson. But you guys have you have guys like me. You have Heathen who pretty much go against the best of them when it comes to who wants to be pissy and pissed off in the most of in a match. Heck, I've seen you, Storyteller, in a serious anger issues sometimes when you're in a match, and especially when you're heated on it and your heart's set into that. I've seen Tin Man looking like he's ready to rip somebody's head off in a match. So I don't know. It's one of those that I'm upset that you have these guys coming in trying to take our spotlight by saying, hey, we do this stuff. We lace up our boots for real, and we could do this, but you guys don't, and you guys, it's like we don't deserve it. So I take serious offense just to that.
Regardless of his entrance, we're talking about it now. So, I should tell you something.
Well, to me though, it's if he is as good as he says he is, he wouldn't still be in the indie scene doing what he's doing. He would be off somewhere in AEW, WWE, New Japan, wherever. But no, he is stuck in an indie scene. So obviously he is not as good as he thinks he is.
Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe his entrance wasn't proper, but he's here now. The match has been made. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to happen. Probably August or September, I would believe. But
the match is made. Him versus
I didn't even know the match was made yet.
Oh, maybe my information is incorrect then. I thought it had been, or maybe
I don't know. Is it a title match?
I don't believe so. I think this one is just. Let me reiterate, I'm not positive it's been signed yet. I know it's been talked about. I'm jumping the gun. Maybe my information was wrong.
You must have got the information from Brick Johnson.
Um,
Brick must he must have saw something and accidentally put the paper on your in front of you, and yeah, it's just a giant misunderstanding. Just we'll see. I know it's been talked about. You're right, it has been talked about, but we'll see if it actually happens. We have to check through Mr. Big Buck's lawyer that A-List has, who's gonna
yes.
work on the contract of it. So
I guess that story is still developing. But still, if it happens, if it doesn't happen, maybe, to borrow a phrase, it's what's best for business, and it brings eyes to HSP, and maybe, who knows, Robert Shaw comes here for a while, and maybe he's not part of AEW, WWE, New Japan right now. Maybe he could be, though. And wouldn't that be cool?
I doubt it. I saw his clips.
yeah, he can only talk about all he says that's probably worth mentioning is fear the 12 gauge.
Well,
are we talking 12 gauge like for the ears? Are we talking like tools? Are we talking about like threads on toilet paper? Or what are we doing?
I mean,
what are we fearing?
Not really sure. Again, the pulse is going nowhere. So,
well, you have me on the screen. We go one way, then we're going the next direction, and then we go the next direction. It's all over.
I'll discuss it amongst yourselves. I'm kind of verklempt. I'll be back in a minute. No.
Okay, Dr. Quack.
Anyway.
Okay, what's the next match we could talk about?
That's the only two that have been announced yet so far. We're waiting on the Big Brother card to be finalized.
So I don't think
what?
Tag team title match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything on for Big Brother until August because of everything that's been going on. Or at least that's what I've heard. I could be wrong. President Mayhem can come out here and strangle me later for that.
I mean, things are kind of up in the air, and we're still trying to figure out what's what and what's where and where everything's going to fall. It's
But yeah, we do have the tag team championship match. Probably the most hyped match I've seen in promo in a very long time. And everybody that's involved in that match, I'm gonna even sit here and say to start off with, I'm giving you a standing ovation over it. Like I watch your guys' hypes every almost every morning because somebody's usually has a hype up in the morning. Someone's got a hype it by lunchtime. Someone has a hype by the time dinner happens, and then there's one before I go to bed. And it keeps me interested throughout the entire day and I'm wondering what you guys are going to do next on the next day. And like, I'm trying to figure out, how are you leaving anything for the match to begin with? You guys are throwing jabs at each other without that. And then like, you could see the respect each person has for the other team to begin with. It's like, as Storyteller, you and I were talking about it earlier today. It's anybody's ball game. Like you're a previous champion, you know how to get things done. This is a title that has eluded you, and I believe if you win this one, you're a Grand Slam champion, just like A-List Alverson, because you've won the other two championships.
Yeah.
So you have a lot riding on the line as it is. So it's interesting. Half Past Black coming off of a big win over Johnny Blade. And then now you guys going straight into this match. That there's momentum. So yeah, I can't pick a winner, but all I know is I hope it's entertaining. I believe it's going to be entertaining. That is the match to watch. I pray that it's going to be the main event, just because of all the work, all the effort. I believe it could be the first tag team championship or tag team match that main events the show. So
no,
I'm hoping.
Tag team matches have main evented before, but it's been a while. I mean,
or this is the most anticipated one. Like you're gonna get Heathen that's gonna come out here and say, how is anything more anticipated than when the Highway Hellraisers would have a match, and then you got Carter Diamond and A-List Albertson could come out and say, no, you have the Cartel, then like now you have Fear the Beards. So this is the most entertaining thing because you guys have made it that important, and I can't pick the winner.
You know, it's never my intention in the whole dominate the conversation. But I mean, it's ironic that this match is at crossroads, given everything that's going on. I think this match was important before. I think it's doubly important in the sense that, you know, there's a lot riding on this show. There's a lot riding on this show, more than just wins and losses. And we need to come out on this show, and we need to kill it. And I hope that myself and Half Past Black are ready. I think we are. Lord knows we've done the legwork. But, you know, if ultimately we can put on a good show, that's all I need. That's all I need. You know, because that will mean that HSP still has fight left in it.
Oh yeah. And also, if you look at how the tag team champion, the current tag team champions, they got a lot of fight as well. Look who all they've had to go through.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just that they've had to go through Haywood, Wallace, myself, Tin Man. I don't remember. Did they go through the Cartel yet? They've gone after after the who's who of the HSP, and now they're about to get their first look at you in Half Past Black, and then just think about it. Like, if you could put a dream match together of a tag team championship match, I would put that one. But also, okay, say down the line, who knows? The Highway Hellraisers could come back. Now that would be one interesting match on no matter who wins the match between you guys and the Fear the Beards. It's gonna be interesting with if, like, say they came back, one of the most dominant tag teams in history of pretty much all of promo, because I think they've still held the championship the longest out of everybody.
Yeah.
And then to what's current today. So, like, again, as I'm going to continue to say, I'll even say it next week. I'll say it until the match actually shows up on screen. You guys, all four of you guys have had my respect to begin with. Seeing what you guys have done has brought back a little bit more of the true passion of the this promo side. Just because being able to come out and see a hype every day, to hear your opponents, hear other people who respect this stuff more than anybody else. It's you guys gained more respect all because of what you guys have been putting into, not just you, not just Half Past Black, but also the people that the two guys that chose me for the locker room leader match in the tag team champions. They have gained my respect going against them, pretty much running ideas by them. Just see what they do on a daily basis. I am proud to see what they do.
I mean, it's definitely going to be. If this one ain't a contender for match of the year, we did something wrong. And let's just leave it at that. Otherwise, I'm going to start cutting a promo, and this is really the time. I'm not in that role right now. Seen any good movies lately? We don't have to.
Well, we got to get Johnny Blades. I apologize, Johnny. I kind of took over the whole segment.
No, that's fine. I actually enjoy listening more than I do talk. But I'll give do you want my input on the tag team match?
Sure. I mean, we already hit on it, but if y'all want to talk, we'll talk about that.
Well, we haven't heard his opinion to it, and we all know that now. Obviously, how I feel about the match, we know about for the last 3 weeks. I want to hear his opinion, because this is also coming from somebody who's not only just here in the promo business, but coming off of also doing indie stuff. So I
Okay.
want to hear his insight because you guys have put the work in. I want to hear it from somebody who's not only who's now in here with us, but also who does on the outside.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, cool. Well, as far as this match goes, I mean, the build-up's great. I mean, I haven't seen build-up like this since Hogan and Savage WrestleMania 5. Uh, Seriously, I mean, you guys are keeping me invested. Every time I tune in, I see a hype, like he said earlier, and I think it's going to be match of the night as well. I was thinking Fear the Beards at first, but after that match with Half Past Black, now I'm thinking you guys. So I just don't know.
I mean,
But,
it's gonna be down to the minutia and 1 or 2 points separated. I think.
oh yeah, it'd probably be pretty close. Maybe a tie. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I'm excited for it. I'm also nervous, but then again, I'm confident. So yeah, the
It's
whole
that good nervous. It's that nervous I get every time before I walk out the curtain.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I guess we've kind of exhausted the conversation. So if y'all want to give some final thoughts, we'll get off of here and we'll just have a short pulse this week.
Well, I wish one of my opponents would have been on, but I really didn't give my thoughts on that match that much. I think I'll be in the top 2. As far as the other 3, Mr. Wallace has been Soulfire champ before, so he's probably salivating at the mouth to get it back. Vagabond, he's getting all these opportunities, but he's really good. I don't see how he hasn't won it yet, because he's pretty good. Heathen, of course, Heathen is Heathen. So he, but I think I'd love to go one-on-one with any one of those 3 guys. But after Heathen's hype, and then my retort, I think I'd like to go one-on-one with Heathen if at all possible.
That would be an interesting match indeed. Huh.
Well, yeah, it's. So I told the Big Brother crew. So since how things have transpired behind the scenes, the new locker room leader is me, the villain. And I have to come out on screen at some point, and I was going to use the Pulse to do it, and talk about who was I going to nominate to be put on the block, and then we needed a new judge, so I was going to I have to add a judge, and then I'm going to add a stipulation to that match. So there's going to be 2 people on the block, and I did a random there's no strategy behind it. It's not saying I don't like your promos, I don't like you as a person. So nobody ever take that to heart, because it has to be done. Anybody could be picked, I guess, on this. So the first person I'm going to pick is Joey D. I feel like his promo was one of the shortest, and I think that when he's on, he's on. When he's off, it feels kind of disappointing, and I feel like this was an off night for that was an off night for Joey D. So I got to go with Joey D on one hand, and on the second hand, it's going to be. I'm going to say Damian Cross.
Okay.
I love Damian's promo, though. I actually think this is a tough match. I know it's going to be interesting to see. However, the stipulation to this match is you have to hype at least once a day.
Oh. Okay.
And so when you're hyping up for this match, you're gonna get a message from President Mayhem and talk to you about when the match is going to be. But when the match is set and official, you have every single day has to have a hype. And not only are you taking the president, Mr. Mayhem, you're tagging your opponent, but you also have to tag me so I can keep track that you're doing your initial hype or doing a hype every day. So that's going to be the match. That's the stipulation I'm adding to it. And the third judge is going to be Prince Blackheart himself, NDT. So that's pretty much that's how I'm going to put it. Now the other people, immunity has 24 hours to take some. Actually, immunity won't really be needed unless he's going to give it to somebody. But if immunity is going to be given up, it needs or used, it needs to be used within 24 hours. Same thing with veto. You guys have 24 hours to put now your guys' stuff out there on if you're going to use yours. So whatever you're going to do with it. If you're going to veto what I'm saying, or whatever. But
Okay. So, Big Brother plot thickens.
oh yeah, it's interesting. Like especially sitting there listening to how because nobody really knows what's going behind the scenes. Like we're all in our own little chat, and we're just like, it gets very interesting on what happens in there. Like I wish there's like a Pulse episode where we could just have all Big Brother like all Big Brother members in here, and we just sit and talk about what's going on behind the scenes and what's going. But it's very interesting. It's not as much as you think it is, but I'm glad to. I'm glad to be a part of it. It sucks that I got put in the position I was, but also I'm interested in continuing to make sure that we move forward from where we were. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see what they're going to do on screen for that match, at least.
All right, then. Johnny Blade, final thoughts? Anything else you
My final thoughts really is just actually good job, storyteller. You have been doing a great job with the Pulse. I just want to say. So good job there. And final thoughts, Heathen, Mr. Wallace, Vagabond, just bring it. Be ready for Crossroads. And it's good seeing you again, Villain.
Oh, it's always an honor to see you, Johnny.
Sir.
All right, then. I guess that's about it for this week's edition of The Pulse. Tune in. We'll be same bat time, same bat channel next week, followed by on Thursday, Crossroads. All right, people. Good night.
Later, guys.